Lady, I'm your knight in shining armor, and I love you. I mean, I got some news for you, Chris Jones. I got some news for you, Chris Jones. And yeah! Alright. I'm just waiting for a couple people. What up, Beantown boy? Wild Gambit. Well, Chris, since you're here first, alright. And I actually did a video of this, but it got too long. And I was like, oh man, forget it. I'll just do it live. Do it live! Do it live! Alright. Chris, real quick. Alright, so you remember we had a little debate, right? On the mid-torque. Remember we were talking about speed 2, setting 2. I was like, I don't know, man. I'm thinking probably 250, maybe 300 foot-pounds. Oh, with speed 1. Alright, what did you say, Chris? How many foot-pounds did you say speed 1 was? New level auto. DeMarcus. Yeah, it's awesome, man. Alex Lakers as Juanito the new. No. I just heard on the way home from baseball practice, and I haven't heard that song. Oh. Okay. Well, no. All right. So, I got the specs of the settings on the mid torque. So, supposedly, I trust this guy. He usually watches. He said he got him straight from Milwaukee, and I don't see why he would. And at least 200 speed 1. All right. So, these are the official specs. Now, it's not gospel. I didn't get them directly from Milwaukee. This is from someone that I know, I trust. I don't think he's wrong. I don't think he's making it up. But this is what he told me. And if it becomes some crazy big deal, you know, like I was going to say, I'm like, oh, man. He's like, no, I got it from Milwaukee. Like, you know, 'cause it sounds a little weird. And it's not speed 1 that sounds weird. I was right about that, Chris. But you said it had more. I don't know. But, all right, I'm going to give you the settings real quick. All right, so, setting 1, 95 foot-pounds. Speed 2, 405 foot-pounds. Speed 3, obviously, 450. So there's a huge gap. You know, you're going from 95 on speed 1 up to 405. And then you're going to 450. Chris Jones, this is the 2861. Ooh, here we go. And you might have a different one. I think, didn't you, I don't know what one you have. Do you have the 3/4? I forget. Yeah, DeMarcus. It kind of makes sense, man. And I'm sure Chris can kind of tell you. Oh, you're talking to 2860. Yeah. Because I've used this on speed 2, man. And I was like, what the freak is going on? So now it kind of makes sense. So once he told me that, I'm like, you son of a gun. I knew it. I just personally, yeah, I think so too, Chris. I was shocked. You know, I just don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. But it makes, as soon as he said it, it made sense to me. Because, I mean, I tried toning this thing down a couple times, you know, 450, 600, not busting. But I use this to tighten, I use this a lot to tighten the blades on my mowers. And sometimes, I always have this out, and I use this a lot because I always got to tighten my trimmer racks and my backpack blower rack, just constant vibration, heavy equipment on it. So I usually have this out, and I was doing my blades a couple times, and you know, I'm like, put it on speed 2. You know, probably 250, maybe 300. And I would put it on speed 2, man. And I would use my rigid or my Ryobi impact wrench. And I couldn't get the goddamn thing off with these. So, and this is, 200 and 200 foot-pounds torque. Fastening torque. And the rigid was it's like 325. So, so nut busting, you usually get a couple more foot-pounds. So this can probably do 225, maybe 250. And, the rigid probably can do close to 400. But let me tell you, that rigid couldn't do it. So I was like, what the hell's going down? So as soon as he said it, I'm like, I knew it. So I know me and Chris, and I had a lot of comments on it too. People were like, oh man, I can't find the settings, the speed settings. They don't tell you anywhere. I went on Milwaukee site. I went on Home Depot. I cannot do it. So, I think they're pretty reliable just from, my experience with this. People ask about the boot. Also, as of now, there's no boot yet. But I'm sure now that they're probably waiting for the high torque release so they can put both of them out at the same time. All right, so the video, I couldn't fit the whole title in the video for some reason. Hopefully when it's done, I'll be able to do it. But this is basically, I've been getting, since I got this, tons of questions on Instagram and tons on YouTube on, what's the size comparison? Wow. And I put a picture up on Instagram. And a couple people are like, whoa, man, that new high torque is a monster. And, like I said, it's not that it's a monster. It's just, the guys who have this mid torque, I know DeMarcus just said it's awesome. Again, this thing is so small and so compact that, it's going to make the high torque look humongous. And you got to remember, guys, this is 8.39 inches from the back to the front with the anvil. 8.39 inches. 5.9 pounds. Gen 2. You go to the Gen 1, it's 9 inches long and 6.2. And the amount of more torque, the amount of torque you get from this Gen 2 over the Gen 1 is absolutely amazing. So, I think Milwaukee did a hell of a job to get that much torque over the Gen 1. The Gen 1 is, I think, 700 and I don't know. I forget what it was, but it's 700 fastening, close to 1,000 or maybe over 1,000 nut busting. But to go from, like I said, 700 to 1,000 and 1,400 foot-pounds of nut busting torque in a compact 5.9. Obviously there's a height difference, and this is a 3 amp hour battery Makita, but this is really the length of a drill. So it's not that big, it's wide. That's, you go to a tool that has this much torque, it's going to be bigger. But it's not significant. This is 6.77 from the anvil to the back. So 6.77, it's like around 1.5 inches. I'm going to set it up so the bases are equal here. And I'll take some shots kind of, but it goes around 0.2 of an inch further, further in the back than the mid torque. And obviously you got that 1.3 inches in the front. So, and obviously you can see how wide it is here. I don't know if that does anything, but yeah, I could be honest, looks wise, and even maybe through this camera here, it looks like it's huge. I can tell you weight wise, it doesn't feel like crazy heavy. 5.9 pounds. This is 3.8. So it's 2 pounds difference, and you really don't feel it. It's 2 pounds, you're going to feel it. So when you do it percentage-wise, this is, my God, probably Let me see. 50, it's over, what, 50%? Maybe even more. But, you know, I've been getting a lot of questions on it, so I figured I would do a little just to know what you're in for. It's a little bit taller, but, you know, it's smaller than the Gen 1, guys. And, you know, this is a small tool. You know, I can't stress that enough. So when you compare these two, and I'll be honest with you guys, 95% of you guys don't need this tool. Now, I get a lot of things, can't wait to get it, I want it. Hey, Polly and Drew, that's awesome. And that's great, man. You should. It's all about what you want, and hey, man. TiVo, man. But, you know, you got 1,400, 1,000 foot-pounds here. You know, you can do some damage. You can bust some shit up. So, and if you plan on, the stuff at work that you do or the stuff at home, if you never intend on coming anywhere near having to fasten, yeah, Eric Brooks, dude, yep. And that's what it comes down to, dude. When it comes to tools and you're into tools, it's your hobby. I love them. And you do it for a living and, you want the newest thing that comes out. You're going to get it. But, like I said, excuse me here. Azulu, what's up? TiVo man, that's not. Is this a comparison? I've been getting a lot of questions about. Hey, how does the size comparison from the mid torque to the new high torque impact wrench here? So this is a pretty good view here. Let me turn on the light. Oh, I left it on again. The biggest issue with this, I leave it on all the freaking time. So I have it up like that, and I leave it on, and I come to do it, it won't work. Me. But yeah, this is a good view. But this is here. I'll bring out Old Faithful. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I'm gonna try to set up the base here. Okay, that's about right. I mean, this is base-wise. So, and this has 200 foot-pounds right here. 200 foot-pounds, 450. So, this is a small tool. So, I don't, like I said on Instagram, a couple of people were saying this. I'm getting a lot of comments. Oh, yeah, it's big. But when you compare it to this, such a small tool, it's going to make it look a lot bigger. And, my point is, it's really not that big at all. It's not really that heavy. I mean, you could use this, and it's not like, oh, my God, I don't want to take this out. Oh, I mean, if you have the Gen 1, guys, it's lighter. If you have the Gen 1, it's, shorter. So, I think Milwaukee did a great job with the design of this tool. And, this is... Sorry about that. This is just a real nice compact tool with more than enough power. You guys got to remember, 600 foot-pounds, man. That is just crazy. So, that's gonna fit everyone's need pretty much. Parum, what's the price? This is $229 bare tool. They have a kit with 4 amp hour batteries, and they have a kit with 5 amp hour batteries. So I think one of them's $449, and I think the 5s are $499 maybe. You could grab the M12 with the 6. A few more years, and the torque will be selectable. Yeah, and that's the great thing. It's tough with this tool. It has a lot of torque, man. And, it's not that... It's good to have that torque when you need it. You know what I'm saying? To have the capabilities of, some rusted bolt you have on something, or you're working on your car, and something's just rusted down. You can, put it in speed 4, and, speed 4 will slow down the RPM a little bit. But you'll get full torque, full impacting, and but it comes down to the point is if you're going to use it a lot, you know, daily, and, whatever you're doing, most of your stuff, you know, 300, 350. What's up? What's up, Ninja Guy? To have 2 pounds lighter, I mean, it's not like this is heavy, but this thing is just to use this as an everyday tool, being this light and doing what you got to do, you know. Ronnie Nichols, what up, bro? Check out. You've been a help. Thanks, Ronnie. I appreciate you coming on, man. Like I said, I love seeing Jerry Hoskins. What's up? Well, the foot pounds on this, the high torque is 1,000 fastening and 1,400 nut cracking breaking balls, and this is 450 and 600. But like I was saying, they break this. You got settings on these impact wrenches. I said in the other video, not to be putting down the impact drivers and some of these other tools that have, these speed settings. They're great and it can be useful. But, I got them on a lot of my impacts, and to be honest with you, it's always on its highest setting. But, with these impacts, to have 1,000 fastening on speed 3, and then to have 500 on speed 2, and to have 125 on speed 1, you can control this tool and, pretty much do any job with it. I mean, it's very versatile. But, to be honest with you, this would have been great if it had 5 settings. And I know I'm getting way over my head, and 5 settings, oh, we're lucky we got 4. And yeah, it's great that they added an extra setting in the rusted bolt, slows down the RPM. But with 1,000, there's still going to be some big gaps in there. So like I said, this was 125, and maybe do 400, and then maybe do, 750, and then have that 1,000, and then have, the rusted bolt selector there. I think that would be awesome. But they did a hell of a job, and this will be coming out with their 1 key. It's going to be a 1 key available. So is the mid torque at some point, but I think the high torque is going to be out pretty damn soon. I think around Christmas time, to be honest with you. So this will be available in 1 key. So if you want it in 1 key, and you're really itching, oh man, I'm getting this now, you might want to wait. But yeah, another thing I want to talk about. I know I'm skipping. I'm sorry. I'm going to read some of these questions. Yeah, our rigid needs to add to the line. I have a rigid, mine is closer to the little one, the foot pounds. Yeah, the rigid's pretty good. They're coming out with a new brushless impact wrench, from what I hear. This thing, and like I said, this maxes out at 200. And this does 98% really of what I needed to do. So this little, and it's it's old, it's big, it's messed up. When I really got to use it, to do lug nuts on my truck, sometimes I got to take the battery out and put it in. You guys remember the whole story with this. But it's good.